Hi readers, Lori here, Books, Ink, and Paper. Welcome back. Today we're going to begin the first in I think it'll be a year of 12 of these, of looking back at my book haul from last year at the beginning-ish of the month. I'm a little bit late this month because of some holiday stuff, but looking back first part of the month at what I hauled the year before in 2019, and then choosing one of those books to read in the month of January. So I have pulled my haul video. I'm not going to link it here, at least not during this first one. It's a lot of work to do that, and I'm behind already. So I'm just going to read you or go through the list of what I hauled in January, and then I will pick at the end of the video which one I think I'm going to read this month. So let's get going. I started out January of last year by hauling The Phoenix Code by Helen Moss. This is a young adult novel. It's the first in a series about a kid named Brian who accompanies his journalist mother to Egypt, Valley of the Kings, and there's a murder mystery, and I heard it's cute. And again, it's book one in the series. I hauled it from Book Depository, as I recall. I did not read this yet, so that's a possibility for January. I also hauled the Grantchester Mysteries, the first in this series by James Runcie. This is the Sydney Chambers and the Shadow of Death, book one, and there's a PBS series called Grantchester. So this is about a vicar who's approached by a parishioner who talks to him about a death that was, I think she's at the funeral, and she pulls the vicar aside and says, hey, this death wasn't suicide, and I think I know what happened. And so he's pulled in to investigate. So that was not read this year. It's a possibility for me to read this month. The Hazelwood by Melissa Albert, young adult fantasy. This is probably a middle grade fantasy, actually. This is definitely young adult. A little creepy, twisty. I read this, so I have a video that talks about this, but that's not going to be a possibility for me to read this month, although there is a sequel to that coming out in 2020 that I'm excited about. Then I hauled a few books for work purposes last year. Mindset by Carol Dweck, which is how we change our belief systems and how we change our mindset in order to move forward and achieve or fulfill our greatest potential. And it is something that I work with clients a lot on, and I have recommended this book based on recommendations of other coaches, but I haven't read it. So that's a possibility for me to read this month. I also hauled The Power of TED by David Emerald, which is the empowerment dynamic. I took a class in 2019 called Coaching and the Empowerment Dynamic. So this was a part of the work for that class. And so I'm happy to say I completed this book and the class successfully. So that is not going on the list in January. Oh, there's another workbook. Sorry, forgot about this one. It's tiny. Group Coaching by... See, I'm trying to do this right. You can see the trend, right? Group Coaching by Ginger Cockram. She's a former delivery coach, training delivery member for me. I took a class of hers called Group Coaching. It's a blueprint of group coaching. It's a great book, I'm sure. I did not get to this, so that's a possibility. Ginger passed away, which is what made me purchase it last year. Mary Oliver Devotions is a book of poetry that she curated herself, of some of what she considered to be her best work. She dated it so that you could kind of see when she wrote it in the scheme of her life and career as a poet. Mary Oliver died last year also, so I purchased this for myself and my daughter Megan at that time. I continue to read through this, so I'm not going to put that on the list to read all in the month of January, but I do continue to look at that now and again when I feel the urge to read a great poem by Mary Oliver. In terms of ebooks, I hauled Anne of Green Gables, the entire series. I have not read those, so that's a possibility via ebook. I got an arc of City of Flickering Light by Juliet Fay. I still have not read that book. I am starting to feel really weary about that. And I don't know what it is that's not compelling me to take that into the top of the list. Because even as I'm telling you, I'm pretty sure that's not going to be the one I choose for January. I just don't know. And then the last one I hauled was actually a library ebook borrow of Beartown by Frederick Bachman. And I did read that. I read that right away. And it was actually one of my favorite books of 2019. That was a total of 10 books. Yes, a total of 10 books that were hauled in January of 2019. And so I will tell you that I am really leaning heavily in the direction of the Grantchester Mysteries by James Runcie. I am in the mood for this for sure. If I have time, I think I will also take a look at one of the two of these because I'm trying to read one professional development book at least per quarter, but I'd like to read one per month. So I feel like if I am able to get my other reading goals accomplished for January, and I have a separate video about what I'm going to read in January or what I'm currently reading, and it's pretty robust. But if I'm able to get everything done as planned, then I'll pick up one of the two of these, either Group Coaching or Mindset by Carol Dweck, because they're short, should be easy, could even possibly listen to Mindset, I think. I think it's probably pretty readily available on some platform. Okay, so Grantchester Mysteries, me and Sydney Chambers, it is. I'll grab some tea and take this, probably take this with me on a flight next week. I'm going to Austin for a couple of days for some travel. I don't think this will take me long to read. And it's the one. I could just feel it when I picked it up. I was like, oh, that's the one. That's the one. Okay, so this is my go back to the book haul choice. And one a month, so I'm going to be really dedicated to finishing this so that I can pick another one in February and read that one. And just thinking about it, I think, I haven't looked yet, but I think I hauled the sequel to this last February. So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Okay. Thanks for joining me today. Thanks for watching. Your comments. Let me know what you hauled last year and what's on your list if you're doing that kind of a project. And as always, happy reading. Bye.